Saving $24,000 in 12 months sounds impossible when you're broke. I get it, I've been there. Bills piling up, stress through the roof, wondering how you'll make it through the month. But here's the thing, it is possible. And not just for people making huge money. If you've got even a modest income, you can do it if you have the right system and discipline. Today, I'm gonna show you the exact steps to go from broke and stressed to saving $24,000 in just 1 year. Let's go. I've had years where I made 6 figures from my business and ended up broke. And I've had years where I made far less and still stacked cash. The difference wasn't income, it wasn't luck, it was discipline. If you want to save $24,000 this year, here's how. Cut the excuses, automate discipline, and build systems that force you to win. I know what you're thinking already. I barely make enough to get by, I'm behind on the bills and hardly make any money, or customers are taking too long to pay, or jobs aren't coming in fast enough. The truth is, these are all a problem of excuse and a lack of systems. Step 1, fix your mindset. Step 1 is the hardest, and it's the reason why most people won't even watch 30 seconds of this video, and it's the reason why most people stay broke. Self-doubt. $24,000 is just a number. It's easy to say, I can't save that kind of money because, I have too many bills or my company doesn't pay enough. $24,000 sounds big because you've made it big in your mind. Right now, in this very moment, I want you to stop doubting yourself and your intelligence. Just like that. Even if you're broke, working minimum wage flipping burgers, say it with me. I can save $24,000 in a year. Did you say it? If you didn't say it, say it. I can save $24,000 in a year. I will wait. Good. Starting today, you're no longer doubting yourself. Some of you are still doing it. But Ryan, I don't make enough money. Say it anyway. But I just got laid off. I can save $24,000 in a year, but my company is failing and I can barely keep up. Say twice as loud. I can save $24,000 in a year. Never set a goal that is too easy to reach, because when you arrive, you might realize that you could have gone 10 times further. For higher earners, your goal needs to be even higher. I've kicked myself over and over again for aiming too small and hitting all my targets just like I planned. So by setting a $24,000 goal that you don't feel like you can reach, that is how you grow. That is how you force yourself to get to the next level. Even if you don't get to $24,000, saving $10,000 or $6,000 is amazing when you're starting from zero. All right, if that made sense to you, click subscribe. Let's get into step 2. Face your money leaks. You're not broke because the world is unfair. You're broke because money is slipping through your hands faster than you realize. Most people tell themselves, I just don't make enough. The truth, they are burning cash on garbage. Subscriptions they never use, late night food order runs, random Amazon boxes on the porch. When I was growing my gardening company, I bought 2 expensive zero-turn riding mowers. Turns out, I was optimistic and I only needed 1. I've seen a lot of small businesses, including mine at one point, go belly up because of wasteful spending. Buying new expensive equipment too soon or spending to look more successful. And here's the wild part. Broke people often spend the most. I've seen guys who can't pay rent, rocking expensive sneakers and financing cars they can't even afford. It's insanity. Here's your wake-up exercise. At the end of this video, look at your last 30 days of transactions and label every single purchase, no matter how small, as either a need, want, or noise. Needs are things you cannot live or operate without. Wants are nice to have, but not essential to survival. So the noise, and even some of the wants, is your lack of discipline tax. And the price you pay is staying broke. Make this a monthly or weekly check on your accounts a habit. Spend 15 minutes combing through your accounts to see where your money is going. Eventually, you'll start to see the patterns in your spending habits, and that will help you to fix the leaks. When I finally did this, I found $500 a month gone. $6,000 a year vanished. That slap in the face changed everything. And I started to save, and these savings helped me to grow my business in the early days. Now let's be clear. I'm not telling you to live like a monk, even though I've done it, and it could probably help you. I still eat at nice restaurants sometimes. I still enjoy myself, but I cut noise. If you have a struggling business, you have to cut costs to the bone. I canceled my office lease and implemented work from home to save thousands of dollars. I got rid of unused plows, mowers, trailers because they didn't add value. Make cuts everywhere you can. You know, your life doesn't need to be joyless. It needs to be disciplined. And here's the brutal truth. Most of your spending is garbage. If it doesn't build your health, wealth, or relationships, it's noise. And noise has to die. All right, if you're still with me, here's step 3. Automate the save. And this is where people screw up. They think saving is about willpower. It's not. Saving is about rules. Every dollar that hits your account, you skim 10% into a separate account before you touch a dime. Call it your wealth account, call it your freedom fund. I don't care what you name it. It's untouchable. Your savings needs to be a bill that you pay to your future self, and that needs to be the first bill that you pay every single month. Do you ever call your utility company and ask them for your last payment back? No, the money is spent. When you save, the money is spent, but in the best way possible. If 10% feels impossible, start with 5%. Start with 1%. The number doesn't matter, the habit does. You know, in my own life, when I automated savings, everything changed. You know, I stopped asking, can I afford to save? And started asking, how do I run my life on what's left? And that is the mindset shift that you have to make. If savings isn't automated, you're going to forget about it, you're going to skip a month and maybe fall back into old habits. Savings needs to be automatic. You know, do the math. Your numbers may be bigger or smaller, but if you earn, let's say, $6,000 a month, 10% is $600. That's $7,200 a year, just by setting one rule. That's discipline. Okay, so if you're still with me, thank you. So this is the part where we get a little bit realistic and uncomfortable. Step 4, increase the flow. Cutting costs is good, but let's be real. You're not gonna save $24,000 working part-time hours bagging groceries. You need more fuel. You know, when I was desperate, I looked at my skills. You know, could I upsell a client? Could I flip a weekend into $500? Could I trade hours I was wasting on TV for cash? The answer was always yes. I found that in most cases, there was always more that I could do. Remember this, there is always more you can do. In 2015, I did a 1-year no TV fast, and it changed my life. Here are 3 plays that you can make. You can trade 5 to 10 extra hours a week for freelance, overtime, or side jobs. You can kill low value work and replace it with higher value skills. If you can find a better job, find a better job. If you're an entrepreneur, upsell existing clients. Easiest money you'll ever earn. Most people sit around saying, I don't have time. Bullshit, you have time. You're just giving it away for free, doom scrolling social media. Start asking yourself, how can I make an extra $1,000 per month? That's $12,000 a year. Pair that with your savings automation, and you're at $24,000 before you even realize it. And if you think you're too good for extra hours, then enjoy being broke. Discipline doesn't care about your ego. If you still can't see how you can get to $24,000 per year, rewind this video and play step 1 again. If you're still with me, let's move on. Step 5, discipline plus consequences equals win. This is where most people collapse. They start strong, cut expenses, save for a couple of months, and then they quit. They were excited about some YouTube video they watched and confused motivation with discipline. Motivation is a spark, it feels good for a moment, then it's gone. Discipline is wiring. It keeps the power flowing every single day, whether you feel like it or not. But discipline alone isn't enough. You need consequences. Consequences are why you go to work every single day, even though you don't want to. Make rules you can't wiggle out of. Here's how I run it. My daily rule is this. When the alarm hits, I don't negotiate. Feet on the floor, water, desk, start. By the time my brain wakes up enough to complain, I'm already moving. I'm up at 5 a.m. every single day. I don't eat breakfast until 9 a.m. I have a lot of money rules. This one helped me a lot in the beginning. For my personal life and business, every dollar that comes in, minimum 10% goes into a savings account, no excuses. My checking rule is this: every Sunday, I review my accounts, no matter what. I don't do my job, it affects the lives of other people. So I have to stay disciplined. My punishment rule is this: if I miss a transfer, I add $50 more next week. Miss 2 weeks, guess who's not going out for the weekend? Why? Because money isn't about math, it's about behavior. And behavior only changes when there are consequences. You think you need more motivation? No, you need discipline and punishment. Pain now, freedom later. Pain forces growth. Without rules and consequences, your emotions take over, and your emotions don't want you rich, they want you comfortable. Winners understand this. Money isn't math, it's behavior, and behavior only changes when there are stakes. Discipline plus consequences, that's how you stay in the game long enough to win. Step 6, stack the wins. Here's the fun part. Saving $24,000 isn't just a number, it's momentum. You know, you'll start small. First 500 saved feels like nothing. First 2,000 feels good. At $10,000, you'll start realizing you have options. By the time you hit $24,000, you won't just be financially better off, you'll be a different person. Discipline compounds. Every dollar you save is proof you're not the same broke version of yourself, and that identity shift is what makes you unstoppable. Think about $24,000 not as a number, but as a way of life. Saving $24,000 in 12 months isn't about luck. It's not even about income. It's about discipline. Cut the noise, automate the save, increase the flow, build rules and punishments that force you to win. I've been broke, I've been stressed, drowning in bills, making excuses. None of that saved me. What saved me was discipline. And if I can do it, you can too. So here's my challenge. Today, not tomorrow. Open a second account and transfer even 1% of your income into it. Lock it down. Do it every time money comes in. Start now. If this video hit home, subscribe, because in my next video, I'll show you exactly how I'm turning these saving systems into wealth building machines. Not theory, not fluff, the system I use daily to make sure that I never go broke again. You don't want to miss it.